Today we are going to improve your Bajada. And why are we going to improve the Bajada? After you are getting a lob and you have a very high contact point, you should pressure your opponents. It's not about where you are positioned, it's about how high you can hit the ball. So if you are getting a lob and the ball is bouncing high, I think you should go for the kill. You should go and win the point with the Bajada. We're going to tell you today how to play good Bajada. We're going to talk about footwork. We're going to talk about where to play the ball, how you should prepare your racket. In general, how to get a fantastic Bajada to score or to pressure your opponent with that specific shot. Today we are at Noordwijkerhout in de Boekhorst and we're going to start right now. Vamos! Oké.
Ah, lekker boelie!
And we have sales on justpadel.com.
I like it.
You like it? Good match. Tip number 10, play your Bajada with a little bit of side spin. If you play your Bajada with a little bit of side spin, it helps to keep the ball down. So if you play a very flat Bajada, the ball might come up against the glass. And if you play with a little bit of backspin, it just doesn't, it slows the ball down a lot because you cannot really hit the ball hard with backspin. So what I would like is with a killer Bajada, with a very dangerous Bajada, is to accelerate a lot with slice and with power. And side spin, not backspin. So if you want to play the killer Bajada like very fast, very flat, the ball still has rebound. So if you pass your opponent, it is easier to dodge the ball and to get it back. So if you play it with some effect, you see this ball is way lower bounce. If you are at the net and you let the ball pass, no chance that you're going to get the ball back. Tip number 9, hold your stance or stance, depending on where you are from the UK. So when you play the Bajada, you don't want to move forward straight away. Because if you play the killer Bajada like the very fast one, you play this one, Sasha is sneezing right through my example. Unbelievable. We do it again. So if you are playing the killer Bajada and you play the ball, boom, and you go forwards, if they block it and you are still moving forwards and they play in an angle, you are gone. So what would be better is when you play the Bajada is to hold and then go back to your corner, but to have more of a stable position. If you play the Chiquita Bajada, which is something you could do, if you have a very high bounce, then you go forward immediately. So this is for the killer Bajada, not for the Chiquita Bajada. Tip number 8, stop moving. Stop. Stop. Hey, stop. What I mean by stop moving is that you should stop moving when the ball hits the glass. So what many people do is that. This is not a good example. Oh, it's a good example of a bad example, what you should not do. If the ball bounces against the glass, it's like somebody pressed the freeze button. Freeze! And then play the Bajada. So you should put glue on your feet the moment the ball touches the glass and then take it from there. So you need to do everything you can to be in a good position. And also if you freeze your position with the Bajada, you know the mistake. If you are playing the Bajada and you're not in a good position, you might play the ball good because you're moving backwards and your balance is there. But if you play the Bajada like this and you can still play the ball over the net, you're not improving your Bajada because you're solving a problem with your balance. If you want to have the best Bajada, hold your position, pam! That would be the best. So when I hit the Bajada, to have the fastest possible ball, because this is what we want to score the Bajada, is you're in this position, feet sideways, and you hit, you go fast, pam, and your toes are in the ground. So this is your anchor, because this is where the speed comes from. The speed comes from the hip. If you're not using the hip, it is just the arm that is playing your Bajada, and you cannot really accelerate with your technique, more with your strength. So that you are doing this, that will help you to generate power with your bajada. The next tip is play most of your bajadas in the center. If you played a very fast bajada and you play it here on the middle line, we don't know who should take the shot. You can win a lot of points by that. And it's very hard to change direction of the ball. Most of the lobs are in the center. So if I make an angle with my bajada to this side, he can play the backhand in the corner. It is very risky to play the bajada bounce fence to the other one. It is way easier to play to where the camera is positioned, because they don't know who's going to get the shot, and it's very complicated to make the angle in the open space. Tip number 6 is coach your partner. So if you are getting lobbed, you have to remain with your face to the upcoming net players. So I'm moving backwards, I'm moving backwards. I should put the rope on. I'm moving backwards and I tell, okay, 2, very close, very close. Half, half. These are the things that I would like to hear. So if they are very close to the net, that means they're hugging the net. You can play the lob because they're very close. So you can do like a voila. If they are very close, you can also play very fast to their bodies because they have 0 time to respond. So this is where you play a strong ball. And the opponents might not like you anymore after the match, but it's their, they don't have to get so close to the net, so it's their decision. If they're half, which means around the second post, you can also play a shorter bajada because there's a lot of space in front of the players. So you don't want to play too fast. It is also possible that the players are waiting behind the line, so they're back. So they play the lob, they can see you have a very good bajada, and they are staying behind the line. So they either stay in this position, 1 step away from the white line, or if somebody has a very good bajada, this is what I do. I step a little bit over the line, because from here I just volley the bajada. And if it's in the center and they play very strong, I can still get it because of the rebound. So these are the options, and you need to tell your partner where the net players are positioned, because with this information, you can make a good decision on where to play the bajada. If you do not do this, you either can be lucky or unlucky, and that's the difference between winning or losing the point. Tip number 5, high preparation. If you want to accelerate, I want you to run with the racket high from this position, because if you want to accelerate a lot, you want to go. If you're running with a very low preparation, you cannot accelerate because you cannot drop the racket behind in your backpack, or that you have a sword like a katana. This is the sound. This is the sound of the katana. So the ball's coming, high racket, so you can let it drop and pam and destroy everybody. So you need a high preparation to have this killer bajada. The next tip is the highest point. The highest point. The highest possible contact point. This is maybe controversial, but I find it so weird that people let their ball drop off the glass. So the ball is coming and they wait until it's there and they hit it around this height, or they play like a bandeja bajada. Give me a reason in the comments below why you play a bandeja bajada. For me, this would have been a very nice contact point. I like it to play it very close to the glass with a high contact point, because the higher my contact point, the more I can do. The highest possible contact point is in charge of the paddle game. If I have a low contact point at the net, I am defending the net. If I have a high contact point from the back, I can attack from the back. So it's not where you are positioned, it's how high you hit the ball. So if you have a chance of hitting the ball high, take it. And just play the bajada as a smash with a little bit of side spin. So in between a smash and a vibra. It's way better because you can make more angles. If I hit the ball more next to me, it is very risky to play that angle. You could do it, but you have to play the Bajada with topspin, which sometimes I do, but I only do this when the ball is like lower. If they lob and it's very high, I just go for the kill. I want to destroy somebody. I want to make somebody scared. I want to feel alive when I play the Bajada. Tip number 3, hit the ball in front of you. If you hit the ball behind you, it does not matter how many technical tips you received from a coach or how good your technique or your talent is. If you have the Bajada and you hit it behind you, it's useless. So you need to have a position that is close enough to the glass. So the slower the ball, the closer to the wall. Because if the ball is very slow, it does not have a lot of rebound, you need to position yourself closer to the glass in order to hit the ball in front. So sometimes what people have is they stay far away from the glass. And then you have to maybe do something last seconds to solve that ball. You cannot play the killer Bajada for this. You can only play like a softer version, or you can play the lob because you're hitting the ball behind you. And you can solve that by calculating how close the ball will end up with the glass. So a faster ball or topspin lob will rebound a lot. So then you don't have to go so close to the glass, you can stay at the service line. If the ball is very steep and it ends up being very close to the net, you might need to hug the glass in order to hit the ball behind you. Tip number 2, one of the most important ones, that's why it's number 2, but prepare early. It's gonna be number 2 or number 1 in every single video I make about the technique. But when you are running, you should run like you are a tour guide. So the group has to follow you. If you drop the racket, you will lose the group, and they will end up in an alley, and they will get killed and robbed and stabbed. But if you're running backwards, run with the racket, and then that high preparation drop, boom. If your preparation still needs to move backwards and then forwards, it is very difficult to have a good timing. So the racket should be frozen when you're moving backwards, and when you're just about to hit, you go from frozen to dropping the racket, and then you go up. You will have enough power to hit a very, very good shot. And the most important tip, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it all goes wrong. This is why you have a Bajada that is absolutely useless, so bad, Jesus Christ, is you're copying the speed of the ball. So when the speed of the ball is high, we tend to run fast. So when the ball is fast, we move fast. When the ball is slow, we tend to move slow. This is also why you cannot score easy shots. Because the ball is coming very slow, you can finish the point. But because the ball is slow, you copy the speed of the ball, you do Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, and you end up making a mistake because you're not moving at all. If you are getting lobbed, I want you to sprint as fast as possible to this piece of glass, or at your court. You don't have to go all the way to Noordwijk, the Netherlands. But run as fast to the glass, and then when the ball hits the glass, freeze, boom, hit. You need to move as fast as possible for 2 reasons. Well, maybe 25 reasons, but you're able to hit the ball higher. You're able to have a quick smoking break before you hit the ball, because that will help you to play a better shot. But also, your opponents will have less time to get closer to the net. If you're running faster, they are further away from the net. So this is also an option, because what is also happening is that I am playing the lob, but my partner is later because he's not aware that I'm playing the lob. So it could be that the partner of the lobber is further away from the net. So many reasons why you should run and then stop moving. If you're still running when the ball hits the glass, this is why you also make the mistake. So stop doing Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, run towards the glass, break, high racket, hit the ball in front of you, destroy your opponent. Vamos. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. This is very good from you. I like these people that stick to the end of the video. Those are the people that understand and level up faster because they want to learn everything. So this is good. Congratulations on being a good learner. We did a lot of things about the Bajada. It's a little bit of a general thing, but it would be good to play like good Bajadas like these to make opponents scared of lobbing. So if you have a good smash, they might think, oh, I need to lob very deep, and then you can play the good Bajada. So the Bajada is a very important shot to be good at, because you need to understand that a higher contact point helps you to win points, and you don't want to be in those lob rallies. So many players, they say, yes, when I'm in this lob rally, yeah, it's because of this, you don't have a good Bajada. So if this video helped you, let me know below what kind of top 10 video you would like to see next, on what topic. Some said about stroopwafels. If you don't know about stroopwafels, you need to go to the store right now, to a Dutch store, and get stroopwafels. Thank me later. Thank you all for watching the video. We gained a lot of subscribers from the last couple of videos, which is nice. Thank you all for that. So if you're not subscribed, would be super nice. We're going to get very close to 50,000, which would be very, very nice to achieve. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next Monday. Hasta luego. Ciao. Adios.